This is Kamera Points in the Bible, day number 100, 2 Samuel chapter 19 through chapter 21. Very interesting points, especially for leaders. Number one, leaders who have children or a spouse, you have to understand that your position in your family is not the same position if you're a leader of a church or a leader of an organization. Those are two different positions, and you need to handle those accordingly. There's some other things in here, but with that point, you'll see where David, his son Absalom, the one who happens to be his enemy, was killed by David's men. They were in battle. David was mourning his son, and he was so distraught about his son's death that his men were humiliated, and they were not, even though they defeated Israel and their enemies, they were ashamed. They felt bad because David was mourning so Joab had to go up to him and say, listen, you making your men feel humiliated. You're hating the people who love you and loving the people who hate you. You need to set it right, or no one's going to be there. As a leader, that's a tough position. It really is a tough position because you are a parent. That's your child. But your child was against the program. And if your child is not for the program, you need to set that straight, and you need to deal with the people under you accordingly. I'm just saying, that's a tough place. You have to ask God for wisdom, direction, firmness, the words that need to be done. But mourning, he should have mourned Absalom in private. Don't let that affect his leadership. Just saying, it's easier said than done, right? Yeah. So David, he takes Joab's advice, and he sits in the gateway, and the men, they do come. So the men of Judah, they came and they got David, because remember, David can go back to his home now. And so you had different people to come and to assist David with taking him back. How about Shimei, the one who threw the insults at David and stones at David? Yeah, he come running up and apologizing and asking David for forgiveness. But then you had other people who, came and just helped David out, to get him back to where he, to his place. You had Ziba to come. You had and his sons and their servants. But get this, David met up with, Mephibosheth, he met up with David, and David was like, what happened? What he tells him is that Ziba, his servant, deceived him. He betrayed him. He told Ziba to go get his donkey, help saddle his donkey. But as you guys know, Mephibosheth is crippled, and he needed that help. This guy betrayed him, and then he went and he slandered Mephibosheth's name, saying that he wasn't, you heard what he said, that he was going to stay back and try to regain his grandfather's kingdom. Mephibosheth said that none of that's true. David says, okay, you and Ziba can now divide Saul's lands. Mephibosheth said, you know what, he can have it. As long as you're okay, he can have it. So that goes to me, that shows that Mephibosheth was telling the truth, and that Ziba did betray him. Yeah, that was wrong, right? That was so wrong. Just wrong. And so that's why it's good to hear both sides of the story before you make a judgment, because David told Ziba he can have everything. It's good to hear both sides of the story. Don't let your emotions at that moment help determine your decisions. Wait till you have spoken to the other person before you make a decision. David should have done that. I'm just saying. So there is so much going on here. All of Israel, they are feeling bad and having an argument with Judah over King David. And what they do is, they're saying that it's 10 of them and just one of Judah, and they should have at least 10 times as much, favor with David then Judah, what have you. So there's this person named Sheba who decides to take charge. And he says, he starts chanting, "We have no share in David, no part in Jesse's son, every man to his tent." And how about Israel follows him? Israel follows him. Yeah. So David see that that's going to be a problem. He tells his cousin Amasa that he's the new commander and he needs to summon Judah. Yeah, but get this. He takes longer than the appointed time, so David tells Abishai to go ahead and call his men and go take care of Sheba. Meanwhile, just before that, when David got back, remember his concubines who Absalom slept with? Yeah, David, yeah, they lived the rest of their lives as widows. David just took care of them. Yeah, yeah, that's terrible, right? But it is what it is. So, oh my God, Abishai grabs David's men, his brother Joab. They go to take care of Sheba. Joab, he greets, they run into Amasa, right? Joab greets him as a cousin, hugs him, and then he stabs him and kills him dead. Just like that, one good thrust, he is dead. Joab was good at killing his relatives, right? Yeah, his people are, yeah. So he becomes the commander of all Israel again, the real Israel army again. But get this, as they close in on Sheba, they siege wherever he's standing. Yeah. And so you had an old wise woman who calls Joab, come here, why are you guys trying to destroy our city? So Joab tells her that Sheba, just came for one man. Hand him over to us and we'll leave in peace. So she tells him, we'll just throw his head over the wall. And they throw his head to them. And then they go on their way. Isn't that something? Another thing that happened in today's read is, fast forward. There was a famine. The famine lasted for, I believe, 3 years. David sought the Lord to see what that was all about. See, whenever there's a catastrophe that affects so many, we need to seek God to see what the problem is. And that's what David did. And come to find out, Saul had, remember, children of Israel had a treaty with the Gibeonites. And when Saul was in position, he tried to wipe them out. And they were supposed to be a people of peace with them, a peace treaty. So the Gibeonites, David went to them and said, "What can we do?" They said, "Well, we don't need your money. What we want is 7 of Saul's boys." And so remember, Saul doesn't really have any sons. He did have a couple with a concubine woman. He had a couple, 2 of them with a concubine woman who was still living. And he took, David took those 2, and he took the 5 sons of Merab. That was the first, David's oldest daughter. Took her 5 sons and gave them to the Gibeonites to do what they want. And they killed them and hung them. Isn't that something? Left them out. And the mother of the concubine would stop the buzzards from getting her boys. So what David did was he went, got Saul and Jonathan's bodies. Remember, Jabesh Gilead was the one who had buried them. Went and got their bodies along with those 7 descendants, and went and buried them in Kish's, Saul's father's tomb. So some interesting things here, guys. I mean, the fact that Saul did something so wicked, look how his descendants were affected by that. We need to be careful what legacy we leave with our family. We don't want nothing to come back to bite them just because you got away with it. Scripture also covers how David had his last battle. David couldn't go out anymore because that one last battle, he almost got himself killed by a giant. Someone had to save him. So there's some interesting stuff in here, guys. If you have any points you'd like to add, please place them in the comments area. That's Points in the Bible, day number 100, 2 Samuel chapter 19 through 21. You have a God-filled blessed day.